Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. It is for Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. It's a weekly reading, Leo. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. You are my fire family. I'm a Leo Jupiter. And so very interesting to be in this reading with you. Leo, this reading is going to be whenever you find it, right? Today, tomorrow, next year, whenever it is. It could be next week for some of you. But we're not all at the same place at the same time. So that means that there may be some stuff in the archives that you haven't seen yet that could be resonating with you at this time. So I am going to just pick a tarot deck here, and we are going to talk about whatever is coming up for the Leo collective. Leo, if you have come here before and you keep coming back, thanks so much for your loyalty. I appreciate you. If you're somebody who's brand new and you've never been here before, thanks for giving this a shot and clicking here. And if you want to hit that subscribe button, that would be lovely, because it means a lot when you do. And if I'm coming through your feed anyway, why not? Thanks for your thumbs up if that's what you intend to do while you're here. I appreciate that. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about the extended. I'll also tell you about private reads. Let's get on with it. Tell me about Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo. Leo, we have the Page of Pentacles. Really looking at something here. Is this really what I want? Am I willing to put a little bit of time, effort, or energy here? I've really got to be honest about my contribution, honest about my schedule. Like, it feels like a scheduling thing for you, Leo. Do I have the time, effort, or energy, even a little bit, to put toward this here? I've got to be really honest with myself that sometimes I just don't want to go along with the plan. That's the Page of Pentacles. Pentacles are all about the plan, things that are kind of, set in stone. Is this a commitment that I can make once a week? Like, it feels like somebody wants a commitment out of you and you're not really sure, because you might have a place and time where you just need to fly. We've got the Ace of Cups. It's a commitment. It might be a romantic commitment. It doesn't have to be, but it does feel like you're really looking at this Queen of Swords energy and saying, I really need to be honest with myself. I need to sit down, be honest with myself, and figure out what kind of time I have, how much effort, time, or energy I have to put into the Ace of Cups. Do I have the time to deal with the softness of overflowing love and the emotions and the happiness and the canoodling and cuddling? And do I have that kind of effort, time, or energy to put into this? I've got to be really honest about what's in my heart space, also about how much I'm willing to share of my heart space. Tell me more about Leo. We've got Justice in the reverse. What if I put in a lot of time, effort, and energy, and then I don't get what I want? It doesn't work out for me. That I don't get my justice, or things don't work out in a harmonious way. Ooh, Judgment is here. Very interesting. Judgment is being born into a new cycle, right? It's the awakening. It's like truth is staring you in the face at this time, Leo. And you're really looking at it like, is this really what I want to do with my time? It's come to your awareness. And what I mean by that is maybe it was just a pipe dream. Maybe it was something that crossed your awareness once in a while, but now it feels like it's staring you in the face. And you have to make the big decision as to what you want to do with this. What do you want to do with that? You've got to be really honest with yourself about, is it going to put me off balance, right, Libra? Is it going to put me off balance? I've got to be really honest with the amount of time and energy and effort I have to put in here, because what if I put in all this effort and it doesn't work out? It feels like an old wound or an old scar that you're dealing with here, but it also feels like you're very much about being very practical and weighing and measuring things. Are things going to, you can see that this particular scale is out of balance. Is it going to bring me out of balance? Like the feather looks heavier than the heart. Yeah, that's true, right? I'm just listening to Charlie. Charlie is my guide. And, there's something in the Bible that says that, right? That your judgment is when your heart will be measured against the weight of a feather, and that your heart, I think, should be less than a feather. I'm paraphrasing, of course. That your good deeds need to be lighter than your heart. in order to pass through to the next life, the next cycle. I feel like there's something here that's weighing heavy on your heart. Someone is asking you to make a decision, or maybe you're just bringing it upon yourself, but I feel like you're worried that something is going to catch you out of balance. It's the King of Wands. It feels like it's something you're really passionate about. So I feel like you want to go and get it. You're very motivated, you're very motivated. You have a lot of wisdom though. And I think the wisdom is that, I've seen things like this before that actually didn't work out in my favor. I got in really deep on the passionate thing. But now you're in the King of Wands energy. You're not in the Knight of Wands energy. And I feel like you have more wisdom. And you're like, how do I keep the fire burning? If I start in fire, how do I keep the fire burning? Is it more of an intellectual connection I need? And if it is, we need to move a little slower on that. It feels like there is something that you want to commit to, or that you want to give your time, effort, and energy to. But what if the fire catches and then everything gets out of control? Tell me about the Queen of Swords. We've got the Four of Pentacles. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. And we've got the Seven of Pentacles. This looks like a lot of work from a distance. I think it's your old scars talking. I think you're tired. I think you work a lot, and I think you're tired. I think you're kind of exhausted. The Nine of Wands is showing up here at the bottom of the deck with the Ten of Wands. And so I feel like you want to, I don't know that you have room for anything else on your plate. That's the thing. With the Ten of Wands being here, that's the place of exhaustion, right? It's the place of exhaustion, the place of burnout. And the Ten of Wands being here tells me I'm already carrying a lot. I don't even know if I can carry a little bit more. I'm not really sure. And so the worry is that if I jump in too quickly and make a decision too quickly, that I'm going to get a lot of attention. Absolutely, I'm going to get a lot of attention. But is it something that I really want to spend my time, efforts, and energy on? The Seven of Pentacles is going slow, is working hard, keeping your head down, right? Putting a lot of hard work into something. It feels to me like you've been putting a lot of hard work into being really consistent, really solid, really grounded, very much about the assessment. And it feels like you've been holding on to this Ace of Pentacles, wondering whether or not I do want to plant the seed, because I have a feeling if I plant the seed, then I'm going to have to commit to putting in a whole lot of work into making it thrive, right? Nurturing it, watering it, weeding it, making it work. And the Four of Pentacles with the Ace of Pentacles tells me I'm really holding on tight to that one pentacle, because when I give it, it's going to be the one thing that's going to last for the rest of my life. So it feels like somebody here is trying to make a decision about maybe making a commitment to something that is going to be a lot of work. And you're just trying to be really honest with yourself as to whether you have enough energy, effort, or time in the heart space. And whether, even if you do all of that work, is it even going to work out? Because Justice is in the reverse and you feel like it's going to rock your balance. So you have a really big decision to make is what it looks like. Let's talk about this Ace of Cups and see what it's attached to. It's not always attached to romance, but it is attached to the heart space. I feel like your heart is softening toward a situation, and you're not really sure whether this is the big decision or not. Is this the big one? Do I make this big investment here in my heart space? What do I do from here? We've got the Seven of Swords. We've got the Temperance card. And we've got the World card. So look, the World card is telling me that there is an energy here of once I'm in, I'm in. And that makes sense because you're a fixed sign, right? So the World card is, this is the milestone. I feel like this is what you've been after. Maybe somebody in your life told you that there are a few steps to life. And I think we all get sold this pipe dream at the beginning where you're supposed to get a job, get a career, make a lot of money, get a nice house, find somebody to marry, have a bunch of kids. It feels like somebody has sold you the pipe dream or told you that this is the traditional way in which that you should live your life. And it feels like the World card is the end result. It feels like the end game, or the place where you get this milestone, or you make the achievement, or finally I get to the finish line. Temperance is here. The Seven of Cups or Seven of Swords is here. So I feel like what you're trying to do is weigh and measure things, making sure that you make sense of the Seven of Swords. Because look the way the Seven of Swords is. The Seven of Swords is running away from the Ace of Cups. I don't know that you want a commitment. I don't know that you want this kind of commitment. Because I feel like when you make this kind of commitment, that's it. You're in. You're all the way in. And I think with Temperance here, that you are waiting for the universe to tell you that it's time, that this is the balanced moment for you to make a decision. It's the healed, like you feel good about it. When Temperance comes along, it's like the last piece of the puzzle. It's like, boom, the last piece of the puzzle. The universe notifies you, you feel good within yourself. So I'm going to say that right now, if you have doubt, it's for a reason. That's your intuition telling you that maybe it's just not time. And I'm not saying it's never time, but maybe it's just not time right now. We've got the Wheel of Fortune. We've got the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse and the Two of Pentacles. Everything's about to change. What if this doesn't last forever? What if I make room on my plate? What if I keep all the balls in the air, do what I can, do all the work, and it doesn't work out for me? What if this isn't forever? I feel like you're not into dating. I feel like you're a person who's into forever, and you're wondering if this is the destined path. Is this the place where it changes? Is this the destined path? Because it feels like there is a new cycle that's ready to open up. The old one is ending, the new one is opening, and something is changing. And so the Ten of Pentacles being in the reverse is telling me, do I have enough money? Do I have enough assets? Is my health good enough? It feels like you're weighing and measuring everything, or juggling a lot of things. Maybe you're juggling your career with maybe of school debt, or you're going to school to try and make a career. Like, it feels like it's right in the middle of everything, and you're trying to wonder, is it going to tip the balance? Am I going to have to give up something or lose something? What if I don't get justice? Let's talk about this Justice and the Page of Pentacles. The Justice is in the reverse. Maybe you're thinking, I'll put in a little bit of effort, time, or energy, and then maybe I'll stand back and see and be honest about what I am reaping from this situation. So we've got the Six of Swords. It tells me that everything's already in motion. Somebody's expecting you to give them an answer. It might be something to do with the Ten of Cups. It feels like you've really been working on being happy, but I don't think that happiness to you equates relationship. I feel like you just want to be happy, that you want to move forward, be happy, and you want to be able to keep everything in balance. I feel like the Justice in the reverse is the thing that is freaking you out just a little bit. You might have a Libra placement, and maybe you're a person who's really invested in keeping everything level, everything in harmony, everything. What if I'm creating karma? Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just listening to my guide, Charlie, and Charlie said, what if they're creating karma? And so there might be something in this situation that might create karma. And so I feel like you think that if you get into this situation and then you back out, that might create karma. I don't know that it will. I don't know enough about karma to say so, but the Justice card is in the reverse. So I think that's a big question. That right now you are in balance, the Queen of Swords, you're very honest about the time and the effort and the energy that you have. But what if I do go in because I'm really passionate about this person, place, thing, or situation, and then it doesn't work out? I make the decision that it's too much on my heart, that I've got to give too much, and I don't know if I can do that. So I feel like you're happy to move forward here and happy to put work in on it, but you're just not sure about how much work you're willing to put in on it. Let's talk about Judgment and the King of Wands, because I think you know that once you step over this line into passion, that's it, you're in. And I feel, are in this justice thing. What if this person's telling me I've got to make a big decision right now as to whether I'm in for the rest of my life or not, and I'm just really looking for something that's kind of temporarily passionate? It could be that. Tell me about Judgment card and the King of Wands. Got the Queen of Pentacles, Page of Wands, King of Cups is in the reverse. I don't necessarily think that I feel like this is exciting. I'll say first of all, I think it's exciting. I think that you do see the potential of this lasting for a while, having stability. But I also feel like you're focused on yourself at this time. The King of Cups in the reverse makes me feel like somebody's out of control with their emotions, that they don't really know how to process this. Maybe you're not emotionally available at this time. Or maybe the other person isn't. Maybe that's what you're worried about. It feels like this Page of Wands is a little bit of excitement about the possibility of being in something that is stable, but is the other person emotionally available? Or am I ready to be emotionally available enough to commit all of my efforts, time and energy, emotions to one person? Tell me what the big deal is about this Justice here. Because Justice is in the reverse, and I think that's the thing that freaks you out the most. We've got the Chariot, the Three of Swords. There it is. That's what it is. I'm going to put all this effort, time, energy. I'm going to give all of my money, my time. I'm going to give all of this attention to somebody. And then the Three of Swords is here. And then they're going to be gone. They're going to take all my money and run. Or they're going to take my energy and run. Or I'm going to be giving. Look, there's people that are receiving here, and one person is giving and everyone else is receiving. Maybe you think it's an uneven give or take. Justice is uneven scales. And then we have uneven scales in the Judgment as well. So I feel like this is all under the surface. Chariot is here. It feels like that you know that this passion, this could get out of, this could stoke the fire. This could get really out of line in terms of passion. There's a lot of attraction here, a lot of charisma, passion, that kind of thing. And it feels like it could get, with the Chariot and the King of Wands, it could get out of control really quickly, turn into a forest fire. And I really think that you're really scared to get hurt. You're really scared to be taken advantage of is what it is. You don't really even know if this person is all the way in, which is, I don't know if they're emotionally intelligent. I don't know if they're emotionally available. It is exciting. I am attracted to them. It seems like it's working out okay, but I feel like you bring a lot of stability, a lot of maybe material wealth to the connection, and you're not really sure if this is going to work out in your favor, because you're not sure if we're dealing in just a little bit of a spark with someone who's not emotionally available, who doesn't want to get all the way in, or is this going to work out the way I want it to? I've got the King of Swords. Look, you're struggling with head over heart stuff. The King and the Queen of Swords aren't necessarily the best emotionally with each other. And the only other emotional card I see here is the Ace of Cups, but I also see the King of Cups in the reverse. So it feels like right now it's at an intellectual connection. We trust each other. We're both very highly intelligent. Maybe you're both doing something that requires a lot of brain power, doctor, nurses. I just see those as being someone who's got this massive brain power, psychology, things like that. It feels like that we get along really well intellectually, but I know if I let it get into fire that it could end up starting a forest fire. And I don't know if I'm available emotionally to get into something that is going to be forever, because the Ten of Pentacles is in the reverse. I'm going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, please look into the comments at the very top. There is one pinned comment. If you click on more, it'll open up a list, and you will see that there's a link there for the membership area. You can get 4 extendeds in a month if you're interested in coming into the membership area. If you are interested in just purchasing this one outright, you can do that as well, just by looking at the link that is in the pinned comment. If you are someone who is interested in a private reading, my private readings that are pre-recorded begin at $25 and go up from there. If you're interested in a live reading, please check my schedule. Please check when I'm available, and we can get online, whether it's text, phone, or video. We can do that. And that would be between 5 and 75% off should you decide to book in advance. I'm going to go into the extended. Hope to see you there. But if I don't, that's okay. I'll be back, because I'm always back. Take care of yourself, Leo. Thank you so much. I'm going to go for now. Take care. Bye-bye.